Good evening. Namaste. Divine in me recognize, honors, loves, cherishes the divine in you. Thank you for being here tonight. I just invite you to sit back and to allow the Spirit to love you up, for that's what this is about. We come into our sacred service, we come into the sacred remembering of the truth of who we are, and shifts and balances happen within our being, and that's why we're here. So I invite you to just open up and receive. We'll start with our gongs. We'll do 3 gongs, representing the Buddhist tradition of being here in the now. With each one, I just invite you to turn within and follow your breath and be in the moment, because it's in the moment that God is. And welcome everyone to our Amazing Grace Wednesday night service. So glad that you're here. We're following along the theme for the year, as we spoke of earlier, is Timeless Truths for Transformation. You know, the spiritual journey is a journey about remembering. There's really nothing to get. There's nothing outside that we have to, there's nothing broken about us that we have to fix. But as it said, 100% of spiritual growth never is about getting, but it's about allowing. It's about releasing. It's about letting go. And so we're following along this year with a book that's pretty popular right now. It's called The Way of Mastery. And we're doing it each time that I speak, we'll be doing a different chapter of the book, and tonight we're talking about chapter 3. And so I invite you to pick up the book if you like, and you can follow along with us. We'll also be doing, Reverend Rick and I will be doing 3 different classes. Well, it'll be 6-week classes. The first one starts in March, where we'll do the first 12 chapters and go into it at a deeper level. I know today I spent about 6 or 7 hours just in this one chapter, and this is the chapter of forgiveness. And I could read it over and over and over again. And that's why I've chosen this book, because it has such pearls in it. I mean, it's concise, and in just maybe possibly about 10 pages, there's so much, and it takes you on such a deep place. And so that's why I've chosen it. So we're talking about the power of forgiveness. And really, that's probably one of the most powerful things that we could embrace, that we could learn about. For forgiveness, as they talk about in the chapter, it really is about realizing, and the core teaching that we teach in religious science, and that we spoke about last week in chapter 1 and 2, is where we really embody the fact that we are creating every single thing in our life. That we are calling it unto us for one purpose and one purpose only, as they said, as they say in the book, what if every thought was placed there to bring you home, or to bring you to that state of awakening? If we're sitting here in these chairs today, we're sitting here because we know that there's this power and this presence, this wonderful life. There's this life that just works, that it's part of who and what we are, and we can be and are the demonstration of it. And so when we talk about forgiveness, it's the number one thing that we need to accept, is that we have called into our life absolutely everything that we need. And every experience that we're experiencing, every person and every single situation. Now, it used to be in religious science that was kind of a stab in the gut, because when something happened to you, they'd say, oh, well, how did you create that? Which was a kind of a negative connotation. But now we're stepping into the more powerful aspect of it, is that that's the most powerful information that you could have. Because unless you were part of the creation of this, unless it was some kind of a match to you or something that you were creating, unless it was that, then you wouldn't have the option of changing it, of shifting it, of choosing something new. Unless you were the creator, unless you played some part in all that's brought into your life, then you would become a victim of the universe, a victim of things that are happening outside of you. You would be absolutely powerless because you'd have no choice. You'd have no ability to create or to make those things work for you. And so it's the greatest gift and the greatest, most powerful teaching that we've had is that we are the co-creators of our lives. And that empowers us. And that says that if there's something in our world, something in our life, it is placed there because from that place we can step off into a higher, more empowering place. Whether it's good or bad, from every single experience and every single thing we go through, we take the next step into a higher, more empowering place. And that's good. And forgiveness plays that part as we understand that we have created and called unforth every single experience that's in our life. Then the truth is, there's really nothing or no one to forgive. Because nothing did anything to us. Nothing outside has done anything to us from the highest perspective of this understanding. And so then it comes to the place where we forgive ourselves. And that, I think, is probably one of the most difficult things to do. In fact, in the United States and forever, we have put so much pressure on ourselves. So much pressure to be perfect. So much pressure to do it right. So much pressure to be smart. So much pressure to be abundant. So much pressure to be healthy. So much pressure on ourselves that we are our biggest critic, as we say, that we're constantly beating ourselves up and bringing ourselves down. It's us that's doing the damage, not what's happening outside of us. I want to share with you a few statements as it talks about this. It says, for you to forgive means to choose to release another from the perceptions that you have been projecting upon them. It is therefore an act of forgiving oneself of one's projections. Because our projections affect all of our relationships, good and bad. So if we're creating it and we are the ones that get to decide what every single experience or thought or anything that happens to us, we decide what it means, then we're projecting upon this experience through our own filters what it means. Projection also means that if we're judging something that's outside of us, in some way, shape, or form inside of us, there's a match. Now that's sometimes a hard thing to understand. But the truth is that when we sit outside and judge individuals or judge situations, whether we judge somebody for being mean or angry or murdering somebody, or we judge somebody for being obese or homeless or less than or anything that we think's not appropriate, it's usually because there's a fear or there's something inside of us that knows we're very capable of being there. The reality is, as we walk around with a fear, we're really capable when we see things going on outside of us. We know how fragile it is, how capable we are of being in fear. Because we've all been there. And we all know it's a fine line that we keep ourselves in balance for, to stay out of fear. We all know that we're very capable of being angry. And when we're angry, we do things that if we were in our right mind, we probably wouldn't do. And so when we see people that are angry or people that are treating people wrong or bad, we judge it. But the truth is that we're judging it because we know it ourselves. We know that we're very capable of it, and we know that it's inappropriate and we're not supposed to be doing that. And so we're projecting onto them how bad that is. But it's only because inside of us we know that we're capable of that too. We all know that we're very capable of depression, of getting stuck in a sadness, of getting stuck in a place where we can't pull ourselves out, being stuck in a place where we're maybe not the happiest or the most positive person. So when we see someone out there being cranky, or we see someone out there that's being depressed, or we see someone out there that's not acting appropriately, we sometimes place judgment on them because we're right on that fragile line. We're very capable of being sad, or having a difficult time pulling ourselves up to happiness. The same is true with disease. We see people out there, maybe people that are limping, or people that are having difficulties, or children, or individuals that aren't mentally all there, and we can't help but know the fragility of that line, that it could very well be us. And it scares us. We walk a very fragile line, and we tend to put our fears, or project, or make judgments, or criticize people, or really run from people that are experiencing those things that we don't want to be. In fact, most of us have spent a lot of our lives really on that edge, trying to do the right thing, be the right thing, make the right amount of money, be healthy, be whole, be all of those things that we have put in our mind as the right thing to be. And it is what's creating the mental illness, it's what's creating depression, it's what's creating disease, it's what's creating everything that's happening in our society. Because we have a wrong perception of judgment, and a wrong perception of what's happening in the world. This chapter talks an awful lot about loving what is. About really understanding that possibly everything is happening for a reason. I want to share with you a reading on that. On the fact that it's all perfect. It says the universe is literally helping to assist you into having experiences that will bring things up for you so that you can choose to look at them differently. Thereby discovering the great power that is within you, the freedom within you to choose what you want to perceive and to elicit only what you want to feel. Having said this, understand that each of your days is a blessing and a gift if you use it from the full commitment to awakening. The day is chock full of a million opportunities to discover a deeper truth. Therefore, never feel that the purpose of your life must be something other than what you are involved in. You are literally creating everything you choose, and nothing is forced upon you. Now, we are going to take this thought just a little deeper for a moment. It literally means that if you have decided you want to awaken, you have already called to yourself every experience that can truly best serve your awakening. The friends, family, and people you have a relationship with are those who likewise can best gain from the experiences elicited through relationship with you. It means that right here and right now, you are already demonstrating the power that you are seeking, the power to truly choose to awaken and to command the whole of creation to serve you in that awakening. And the Father is creating, assisting you to create just those experiences as stepping stones that carry you from where you are and where God is. The universe is conspiring with you to awaken you and to heal you. Trust it. Love it. And the affirmation that he says is, I do not live any ordinary moments. With each breath, my experiences are the stepping stones laid before me of God to guide me home. I will bring awareness to each moment and allow it to teach me how to forgive, how to embrace, how to love, and therefore how to live fully. So what if we were to shift our perception? What if we were to say that this call, and it is who and what we are, this current that is running through us for well-being, this current that is running through us that is God, that is perfect right action, that is wisdom, that is wholeness and peace and love and joy, this current that is running through us that is us, it's the activity of life, cannot and will not be denied. For there's only one power. There's not two powers. There's not a power of evil or wrong or bad and good. There's one power, one presence. That power and presence is God, and that power and presence is good. And that power and presence will not and cannot be denied. And so as that current is running, it is calling forth from us, because every cell of our being is calling forth that truth, which is that awakening, which is that deep knowing, which is that sense of peace and life working and well-being. Every sense and every cell of our being is calling forth it, screaming for it loudly in every moment. And so therefore we call forth those experiences that allow us to step deeper, to take another stepping stone, as they said, home, or to that truth, to the realization, to the manifestation of that. What if we were to stop beating ourselves up? What if we were to stop judging ourselves? What if we were to stop saying, how did I create that, and what did I create that, and I did something wrong? And what if we were to say, thank you, my beloved. I trust and I love. I fully realize that I am at choice at each and every moment. I become conscious and aware, and I make the choices that feel good, that empower me, that guide me and lead me to that truth of who I am and what I know I am placed here to be. You see, that current is pulling us to that destination always. And sometimes it's like a sea, and it can go over the rapids, and you have the choice of going over the rocks and bouncing and having experiences that are rough and adventuresome, or you can take that path that follows it all the way down and goes through the smoother ground. Either way, you're going there. And so that's what we're talking about, that as we forgive, as we allow, as we not judge ourselves, as we know that everybody's called into this for one purpose and one purpose only, as we decide in our own innocence. In this chapter, he talks a lot about innocence. Innocence like a child. A child doesn't care. A child doesn't look with judging eyes. A child sees an individual, if they're willing to play, they want to play. A child lets people be who they are. That's why we all love being around children. They don't judge us. They don't tell us, that we're right or wrong or look good or bad or any of those things. They see us, they're excited, and they want to engage. They look past, they look through, if you will, the veil of all of the stuff that's going on, and they see right through all the stuff that's going on, and they see joy and fun. They see the God in us. If we choose to not judge ourselves and to look through that place of innocence, can we allow other individuals to go through whatever they're going through, seeing that as the cloud, that which is on the outside, but can we not even see that and judge through and see the divine within them? Can we remember the truth of who they are and see the light of them and hold that as the truth of them, so that they remember it themselves? Remembering that we're all capable of forgetting. We all do. So anybody and any action and anything they're doing, they just simply forgot. But we can see the divinity within them. And so we choose to look at that. I remember a statement that Reverend Michael Beckwith said once, and I loved it. He said, We can always have them in our hearts, but we don't necessarily need them in our space. And that's true. You know, if somebody's really acting out and being damaging and abusive verbally or abusive physically or just not really great for your space, you don't have to have them in your space, but you can have them in your heart. For we are placed here for one purpose and one purpose only. That is to love. That is to not judge all the little appearances and all the things, but that's to love the soul, love the heart, love the individual, knowing that this is God's creation, and all that is happening within them is that they've been given whatever they've been given by the divine so that they can go on a further step closer to their home, closer to God, closer to their expression. They're just on a stepping stone. We trust and we know. Can we let go and let people go through and experience the things that they need to do and just love them? Can we know that any action, as the Course in Miracles says, is either a call for love or is love? That's what we're doing. A couple other things to share with you. It says, forgiveness is seeing the innocence, the God within everyone, seen through the veil to the God. In the goal, you will witness the energy, you will discern it, understand it, see through that energy to the face of God, and cultivate the ability to love. For you exist only to extend love. That is our purpose. We exist only to extend love. You know, we start this service each week with the statement Namaste. That is, the divine in me recognizes and sees and honors the divine within you. So can we walk through life in the Namaste? Just the Namaste. We can make choices if it serves us and how we participate and play, but we can see as God sees and see the God in everyone. Because for the change to happen, it must happen within us. We must really love ourselves. We must give ourselves permission to go through whatever we need to go through, trusting and loving completely that it is absolutely perfect. It is exactly what we need. It has been placed there by the divine, and it is good. Because when we shift to love and we shift to that self-love, our world shifts. Everything around us shifts. But that's where we must start. So I invite you, if you've picked up that book, to kind of read that chapter. It has so many powerful nuggets in it, so many powerful statements in it. It has an exercise that it ends with that says that we should end each day before we close our eyes. We should end each day and just forgive, appreciate the day in gratitude, forgive the day, and let it go. Never holding on to any of those things, but literally open ourselves, release ourselves from any of that energy, any of that stuff that's going on, and be grateful and appreciate and trust and let go and go into our sleep and go into the next day unencumbered by the stuff that's happened before. Because every day and every moment's brand new. And so I just invite you to just contemplate that. And if you have the book, read that chapter. So let us just turn within together. Taking a big breath and releasing it. Knowing that there is only one power, one presence. And that power and presence is good, and that power and presence is God. That power and presence is all powerful, all knowing, all wisdom. And it is who and what I am. In fact, I can be nothing but. It's in this truth that I look through the veils of this world, of what appears to be strife and challenge and dis-ease and lack. And I look through that knowing that this power and presence is right there to support, to guide, to lead, to uphold, to love me and each of us as we walk on this journey, for we never walk alone. It's with the heart that is open appreciative and filled with gratitude that I give thanks that this is so. And I allow it to be as me and as you. And so it is. Amen. May you always feel the embrace of God. May your heart reflect love and light. May you know that your every step is guarded and guided. And may you feel, sense, and know God's amazing grace, for it is in, through, and around us always, and in always. God bless you all. Go forth in peace. Good night.